It is important in times like these to have a distraction.
We're carefully considering other people that will be sued also. Ryan Reynolds, for sure.
And that's why I want to personally extend my gratitude to Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively.
Things just took a wild turn with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. This situation is spiraling fast. And to make things even crazier, Ryan Reynolds has just been officially booted from Wrexham ownership. Why? Well, it all started right after Blake got exposed for lying. This lawsuit fiasco isn't just messy, it's turning into a complete disaster. And now, the once picture-perfect Reynolds family seems to be falling apart right in front of us. When Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney first took over Wrexham, the world was shocked, but also intrigued. Two Hollywood A-listers investing in a historic Welsh football club? It felt straight out of a movie. Ryan quickly became the face of the club, showing up to matches, engaging with fans, and constantly hyping up the team on social media. People didn't just see him as an investor, they saw him as someone who genuinely cared about the team. But all that goodwill completely shattered. Now, with Ryan's sudden removal, Wrexham fans are left scrambling for answers. Was this a cold, calculated move? Was he completely blindsided? And most importantly, what did Blake do that was so bad it got him kicked out? For those out of the loop, here's how this chaos started. Blake Lively came forward with shocking allegations, claiming she was S8 on the set of It Ends With Us. And the accused? None other than Justin Baldoni, both the film's leading man and director. From that moment on, things spiraled out of control. The details weren't adding up, and before anyone knew it, this turned into an all-out legal war. Justin Baldoni, along with Jimmy Heath, Wayfair Studios, and his publicist, didn't waste any time. They came out swinging with a lawsuit against the New York Times, the outlet that first published Blake's explosive claims. But that was just the beginning, because then came round two. This time, Justin took direct aim at Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. And that's when things got really messy. We're talking Game of Thrones-level betrayal, Taylor Swift-style drama, and leaked text messages that sent everyone into a frenzy. In his lawsuit, Justin insists the New York Times worked hand-in-hand with Blake to twist the story, cherry-picking details, leaving out key facts, and making him and his team look guilty on purpose. According to him, before the article even went live, he and his lawyers explicitly warned the paper that Blake's version of events was false. But instead of holding off or investigating further, the story dropped 2 hours early, a move Justin claims was a deliberate attempt to control the narrative. And Blake? She didn't dive straight into a lawsuit. Instead, she filed a right-to-sue letter with the California Civil Rights Department, a strategic move that let her bypass the discovery process and keep everything behind closed doors. But now that the truth is spilling out, Justin's team is calling her out. They claim she never actually intended to sue. She just wanted to make herself look more credible. One of Blake's biggest accusations? That Justin and his team used their media connections to launch a smear campaign against her. She even pulled out text messages that seemed to prove it. But Justin's camp wasn't buying it. They hit back hard, accusing Blake of editing the messages to make it look like there was a full-blown effort to destroy her reputation. And to shut down the claims, Justin's side dropped their own receipts. Leaked internal messages showed that his team wasn't plotting against Blake. In fact, they were panicking over her PR team allegedly pushing fake positive press to protect her image.
I internalized that as opportunity. We had such a responsibility to this audience to deliver something.
I just kind of cast it as, oh, he's losing his marbles. Had I known, I think I would have handled it better.
To deliver something for a passionate group of people.
Yeah.
As someone who is so deeply passionate myself.
One of the most damning messages? Justin himself asks, how can we prove we aren't doing this? It looks bad. Clearly, even he knew how messy things were getting. A colleague reassures him, saying Blake's team was actually behind the media spin, while another PR rep shrugs it off, claiming people were simply reacting to Blake's own behavior. But that was just the beginning. Justin's lawsuit goes even further, alleging that Blake manipulated messages to make her story more convincing. One example? She shared a text exchange where someone sent an article titled, "Could Blake Lively be cancelled?" and a team member responded, "Wow, you outdid yourself with this." Sounds shady, right? Well, Justin's team insists she intentionally removed emojis and sarcasm, twisting what was meant as a joke into something that looked serious. And if you're wondering where Ryan Reynolds fits into this chaos, Oh, trust me, he's right in the middle of it. Turns out, Blake wasn't just acting in It Ends With Us, she was also trying to take creative control. She allegedly pushed Justin to let her edit and rewrite scenes, something no other actress on set was allowed to do. And because Justin wanted to keep the peace, he let her do it. Well, that decision came back to haunt him. But here's the real bombshell. Ryan wasn't just the supportive husband standing by Blake's side. He was involved too. Reports claim he personally helped rewrite parts of the script. And get this, one cast member even confirmed that Ryan made major changes to multiple scenes, something that almost no other actor would ever be allowed to do. But since Blake was involved, the usual Hollywood rules thrown out the window. According to staff, Blake and Ryan were constantly tweaking lines, reworking scenes, and disrupting production. The tension on set was palpable. But here's where it gets even wilder. Blake played Justin like a fiddle. She showered him with compliments, calling him one of the best directors she's ever worked with. She even claimed that other directors had never allowed her to contribute creatively. Justin, wanting to be fair, gave Blake the creative freedom she craved. But that decision, it backfired. Badly. And the moment it really blew up, when she rewrote a crucial rooftop scene, the scene that changed everything. According to Justin and his legal team, Blake made sure everyone knew that Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift loved her version. And to drive the point home, she personally invited Justin to her penthouse, where Ryan and Taylor hyped up her writing, making it nearly impossible for Justin to say no. He had no choice. Later, Justin even texted Blake, praising her talent and assuring her he'd try to incorporate her ideas into the final cut. And this is where the Game of Thrones comparison started. Blake didn't just name-drop power players. She called herself Khaleesi. She straight up said she had dragons, aka Ryan and Taylor, who would always back her up. And she wasn't just talking. She was making it very clear that she had real power in both the movie and music industries. She knew exactly how to use her influence to get whatever she wanted. But Blake didn't stop at one scene. She wanted control over the entire script. Justin, desperate to keep the peace, allowed her to make changes daily, hoping to avoid a bigger conflict. But the more he gave in, the worse it got. Blake began questioning every single directing decision, throwing the entire production into chaos. And here's where things get really ironic. Around the exact time Blake claimed Justin harassed her, she was still inviting him over, still texting him non-stop. If she was so uncomfortable, why was she constantly reaching out to him? And not just that, Blake's messages were full of praise. She gushed over the film clips, raved about Justin's directing, and even asked for more footage. But here's why so many people are siding with Justin over Blake. Because Justin had receipts. His legal team didn't just talk, they delivered proof. And what they exposed? Absolutely shocking. They gave the public a sneak peek into one of the biggest accusations in Blake's lawsuit. Blake claimed that during a scene meant to be silent, Justin got way too intimate, whispering in her ear in a way that made her uncomfortable, and even caressing her cheek and neck, actions that weren't in the script. Sounds serious, right? But here's the problem. Blake didn't see the plot twist coming. Because Justin, he dropped the real footage, and when people saw it, game over. The leaked clips completely contradicted Blake's claims. The raw footage proved that the entire moment was taken out of context. That so-called whispering and touching, it didn't happen the way she said it did. And here's the kicker. Before the leaked clip went viral, Blake had no idea that audio was even being recorded during the scene she claimed was harassment. But when the footage surfaced, it told a completely different story. Turns out both Justin and Blake were in character the entire time. In fact, Blake herself suggested they talk during the scene to make it look more romantic in slow motion. It was all about nailing the perfect shot. Nothing inappropriate happened, but this is where things really took a turn. Even after the footage proved otherwise, Blake still accused Justin of harassment and body shaming. And to make things even messier, she reportedly manipulated Ryan into believing Justin was the villain, even though Ryan and Justin had never even worked together before. And now, Taylor Swift's name just got dragged into the drama. And fans, they are not happy. In fact, there's even speculation that Taylor might be distancing herself from Blake altogether. Realizing that Blake used her as a pawn in her own industry drama, Taylor is not happy. And the tea? Taylor did not invite Blake to the Super Bowl this year, an invite she's regularly extended to her closest friends. Ouch. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Sources say that even if Taylor had invited Blake, she wouldn't have gone anyway. She knew showing up would only make headlines for the wrong reasons. completely overshadowing Taylor and Travis Kelce's big moment. Just last year, Blake was right there in the VIP suite, cheering on the Chiefs alongside Taylor's inner circle. But now, everything has changed. Taylor, now unexpectedly tangled in Blake's legal war with Justin Baldoni, is keeping a low profile, and let's not forget, Baldoni's $400 million lawsuit claims that Blake used Taylor's name to sabotage his film. That's next-level messy. Sources told the Daily Mail that Taylor isn't deliberately shading Blake by skipping the invite, she just doesn't want the drama. But behind the scenes, Taylor reportedly resents Blake for calling her one of her dragons. Yeah, that did not sit well with her. And just when you thought this couldn't get any wilder, Taylor allegedly had no idea Justin Baldoni would even be at Blake's apartment when she visited. The timing? Way too convenient. According to sources, Blake orchestrated it so Taylor would arrive just as Baldoni was leaving. But it gets worse. Taylor later found out that Blake had been name-dropping her in ways that weren't even true. One example? Blake reportedly told a young actress that Taylor herself had personally cast her, something that, according to insiders, never happened. And this all comes months after Blake got dragged online when old clips resurfaced, showing how people found her hard to relate to. And get this, insiders say Taylor actually tried to help her years ago, advising her to tone things down. The problem? Blake has never been the type to hold back. And now, it looks like that's backfiring big time. Oh, but if you think this whole mess is bad for Blake, just wait until you hear what's happening with Ryan Reynolds. Ryan, who's mostly stayed out of Blake's legal chaos, is now dealing with his own drama, this time on the football field. As most fans know, Ryan and Rob McElhenney took over Wrexham AFC when the club was struggling in the National League, the fifth tier of English football. But thanks to their leadership and a whole lot of media attention, the club pulled off an insane comeback, earning back-to-back promotions and climbing into League One. Now, Wrexham is right in the middle of a high-stakes battle for another promotion, with their eyes set on reaching the championship. Their competition, big teams like Stockport County, Birmingham City, Wycombe Wanderers, and Huddersfield Town. But here's where things get messy. According to the Mirror, Ryan is rumored to be part of a major consortium looking to take over MLS side Vancouver Whitecaps, his hometown club. And this isn't just some side project. Ryan and Rob are already involved in another club, Mexican team Necaxa. So what does this mean for Wrexham? Fans are not happy. Many believe Wrexham's massive success has been built on Ryan and Rob's full investment, both financially and emotionally. If Ryan shifts his attention to Vancouver, Wrexham supporters fear the club could lose momentum, especially with another promotion on the line. And to make matters worse, Whitecaps fans aren't exactly thrilled either. Some are skeptical about whether Ryan's involvement would actually improve the club, or if this is just another Hollywood-style PR stunt. While his work with Wrexham has been widely praised, not everyone is convinced he can replicate that success in the MLS. But why would Ryan even consider taking over the Vancouver Whitecaps? Well, for one, it's his hometown club. Being involved with Vancouver would be a full-circle moment for him, especially given his growing passion for football. Secondly, MLS offers way more commercial opportunities than a lower-league English club. With the rise of American soccer and the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup being hosted in North America, investing in an MLS team could be a massive business move. Oh, but this story only gets juicier. Ryan Reynolds' connection to the Vancouver Whitecaps isn't exactly new. In fact, Wrexham actually played against the MLS club in a preseason match last year. At the time, it may have seemed like just a friendly game, but now, it's looking more like a strategic move, one that could hint at a much bigger investment plan. But let's be real, this deal, it's on a whole different level compared to his Wrexham purchase. Back when Ryan and Rob McElhenney took over the Welsh club, they did it for an estimated £2 million, a relatively small sum in the football world. This potential Vancouver Whitecaps deal, we're talking a massive investment, likely in the range of £300 million or more. That's a huge leap, one that would require significant outside funding. So, is Ryan really planning to go all in on this? Or is this just a rumor drummed up to stir interest in the club? At this point, there's no actual offer on the table. It's entirely possible that the current owners are just using Ryan's name to generate buzz for a sale. But here's the thing. Ryan has never been one to shy away from new investment opportunities. And with his deep personal ties to Vancouver, it's not out of the question that he's seriously considering this move. And just as this rumor started flying, another backlash hit Ryan Reynolds. Again. This time, over a scheduling conflict involving Wrexham AFC. After the Super Bowl, Ryan found himself at the center of criticism after Wrexham's League One match against Leyton Orient, originally set for last Saturday, was postponed due to Leyton's FA Cup tie against Manchester City. The match was then rescheduled for Tuesday, February 18th. The announcement, made through Leyton Orient's official X account, stated that they were mandated to play on that date. But it sparked outrage among Leyton Orient supporters, who felt forced into the decision with little notice. Many frustrated fans pointed out the short turnaround, especially since it's a midweek away game, making travel incredibly difficult. This entire saga just keeps getting wilder. Leyton Orient's attempt to ease fan frustration with free coach travel was a solid move, but it didn't stop the backlash. Even though Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney had no direct control over scheduling, they quickly became the target of angry fans on social media. Some accused the Hollywood duo of influencing the EFL's decision to benefit Wrexham, suggesting it was all about boosting their US audience. One furious fan even called the reschedule absolutely disgusting, while another claimed Wrexham doesn't like anyone stealing their Hollywood limelight. The drama didn't stop there. Accusations of favoritism started swirling, with some alleging that the EFL was actively helping Wrexham maintain their success. But then, Leyton Orient CEO Mark Devlin stepped in to clear things up. He explained that the decision was purely based on scheduling conflicts. With Wrexham still competing in the Virtue Motors Trophy, the fixture congestion left very few open dates for a reschedule. And while the EFL hasn't made an official statement, reports suggest that both clubs were informed well in advance. This wasn't some last-minute manipulation. Still, the backlash against Reynolds won't die down. And then there's the Blake Lively lawsuit. Oh, it's only getting messier. Now, there's growing speculation that Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift could actually be called as witnesses if this case goes to trial. The public perception of Blake is shifting fast. Fans who once adored her are turning their backs, questioning whether her America's sweetheart reputation was just an illusion all along. Some insiders claim this proves what they've been saying for years, that Blake allegedly has a mean streak and an inflated ego. They argue that she's always believed Hollywood was hers to command. And the backlash? Swift and brutal. Social media is buzzing with people dragging Blake's alleged behavior, wondering if she ever really deserved the America's Sweetheart title in the first place. This situation has truly hit the Hollywood jackpot in terms of drama. Justin's unexpected move is like a plot twist Blake never anticipated. Many thought he'd either stay quiet or back her up. But instead, he's come out swinging. And that $400 million is on the line, making it clear that Justin isn't just going to roll over and let this all slip away without a fight. Now, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift potentially being dragged into this whirlwind just takes things to another level. If either of them gets called as witnesses, it could completely reshape public opinion. It's no longer just a legal battle. It's a public spectacle that could expose the truth or tear down Blake's carefully curated image. The stakes are massive and the drama keeps intensifying. It's starting to feel like one of those Hollywood blockbusters, except this is all happening in real time. Betrayals, shifting allegiances, and the biggest names in entertainment all intertwined in a legal battle. Fans are torn, insiders are whispering behind closed doors, and the media is having a field day with each new detail. Will Blake manage to salvage her reputation, or is it too far gone? Will Justin keep pushing forward with full force no matter what? And if Ryan and Taylor get pulled into the courtroom, how will they handle the heat of it all? This is shaping up to be the legal and social media storm of the year, and honestly, it's impossible to look away. Drop your thoughts below because this ride is far from over. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the rest of our videos for all the updates.